one of the fastest ways that you can start making money, especially if you're a beginner. Even better, you can do it from the comfort of your own couch, and AI is going to help you. I've nicknamed this side hustle Sight Seeking. Now we're going to break this down step by step so you can follow exactly what to do and be able to do it for yourself. I like the saying, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day, teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. And when I say that, that's everyone, men, women, or however you identify yourself. The Sight Seek side hustle, and that's a tongue twister, has 5 steps. I've added a 5th step because I think the 5th step is one of the most powerful steps in this whole system. Now if you like this kind of content and want to see more, destroy that like button to tell YouTube you want more side hustle ideas. Step 1 is finding businesses and companies that don't have a website yet, and we're going to find them through Google or Yellow Pages. Step 2, we're going to reach out to these companies through email or DM. Step 3, once we understand what the client needs, we're going to build a website for them. Step 4 is going to feel amazing, is to get paid. And step 5 is where the real sauce is at. I'm going to give you some pointers on how to outsource work and automate your systems. So let's get into it. Now, like I said, the first step is to find companies that don't have a website. I'm going to go through an example with you. Feel free to pick whatever niche. You might like some of the ideas that come up. Let's start with ChatGPT, and we're looking for some businesses that we can target to reach out to. So let's start by asking ChatGPT, come up with 20 small business niches. I like pet grooming, interesting for mobile car detailing. It's not quite what I was thinking. I might try something more related to the house. Okay, so I like this list a bit better. We've got smart home installations, renovations, property management, painting, window cleaning. I just had an idea that I've got some tradie friends who are generally pretty bad with tech. They probably don't have a website, and it'd be a win-win to help them build a website and they pay you a little bit of coin. So let's jump on Google Maps, we'll look up plumbers, and then we'll find out which companies don't have a website. Like I said, you can use Google or Yellow Pages. I just find there's a lot of companies on Google that you can find easily. I live in Australia, so these are all going to be Australian plumbers. Let's scroll down the list. Straight off the bat, Hillcrest Plumbers. They don't have a website. TMR Plumbing don't have a website. And Damali Plumbing and Gas don't have a website. Within the first 30 seconds, I can already see that there's plenty of companies that don't have a website, so this is a good niche. Now that we've found that plumbers is a good niche, let's make a spreadsheet to record all the companies we find that need a website. I'm just going to keep it really simple. I'm going to have the company name, I'm going to have email or DM, and then the link to their Facebook page. If they don't have a Facebook page, that's when you'd call the company. But for now, because we're just starting this business, we only want to focus on emails and DMs. So let's go back to our list and check out Hillcrest Plumbers on Facebook. And it looks like they don't have a page either. That's fine, that's gonna happen. Let's go back to TMR Plumbing, see if they have a Facebook page, and they do. Looks like they have a website. Oh, the website's down. So something must have happened, whether it was a cost or whether they just don't need a website. It's still worthwhile to reach out to them to help them build it because they've already showed interest in a website. So we'll record their details, and since their website's down, that link isn't gonna work anymore, so we'll just DM these guys. I'll just record DM. Let's keep going down our list. Next we've got Chapman's Plumbing. Let's take a look. Looks like they don't have a Facebook page. They're the type of company that we would call. But like I said, let's just focus on the emails and DMs for now. Let's keep going down. Nexus. And Nexus have got a similar thing where they had a website, but for whatever reason the website's no longer running. So we can offer to rebuild their website. Now we've got Proctor's Plumbing, similar thing. Let's look them up on Facebook. So they've got no website, no email address. So we'll just send them a DM. We've got another one here, High Flow Plumbing, no website. Let's check out their Facebook page. So again, they don't have a website, and this seems like a common issue with the plumbers. There might be a reason why a lot of these guys don't have websites, something that we can ask these plumbers once we start to reach out. But in this case, they have a Hotmail address, so we can just send an email to that Hotmail address. So in about 5 minutes, we've already found 4 potential companies that need a website. And that's why this side hustle is great for beginners. Realistically, you want about 50 to 100 companies that you can contact, because at the end of the day, this is a numbers game. Stay tuned for step 5. I'm going to show you how you can make this even easier and generate a list of up to hundreds or thousands of contacts that you'll be able to start building websites for and raking in the cash. We're going to move on to step 2. The next step is for us to go to ChatGPT again and to help us write an email. So I asked ChatGPT to write me an email, and what happens when you do these initial prompts is generally it's pretty trash. I'm reading this email, it's boring, it's long, it's full of fluff. This is not how you reach out to people. I asked ChatGPT to condense the email just to the most important points, and I think it's done a better job. Well, it's not the best it could be. I think it's a good starting point. Now you got the email. It's really good if you can find the person's name, and you can do that through LinkedIn by scrolling through their Facebook feed to see if they've posted anything about names. There's also Chrome extensions to help you find those details. When you're contacting these guys, avoid using your personal emails because it doesn't look as professional. So avoid using it Gmail, Hotmail, or Outlook email addresses, and instead get your domain from somewhere like GoDaddy. I used to get my domains from Google, but they've recently stopped doing that. Now they recommend Squarespace, but I still recommend once you've got your domain to use Google as your email provider. This is the same as Gmail, but it's got some better features. And there's websites like Lemlist and Instantly that help you set up email sequences to make it easier for you to reach out to these companies and automate the whole process. So when you're talking to the client about the actual price of the package to build their website, there's a couple things to consider. Think about how confident you feel about the package that you're delivering. You might want to start by offering a package that just covers the cost of the website and you'll be building it for free. And then you'll have a case study that you can then bring to the next client. If you feel more comfortable charging, then go for it. You can charge anywhere between $200 to $500 depending on the country to build a website for your client. For me personally, when I offered to build websites, I found people willing to pay money because you are delivering value, and so I wouldn't shy away from charging first, and then if you see resistance, you can offer something cheaper. So now's the fun part, but this is assuming you're already comfortable with website building. And if you're not, I would recommend adding step 1.5, which is learn how to use a website builder. Now the website builders that I recommend using are Hostinger and Wix. They're both great website builders. For every client that you take on, you'll need to ask them how long they want to have the website for and then charge them accordingly. So let's say hypothetically, we've sent off all our emails and High Flow Plumbing, which is our first plumber on the list, have decided that they would like a website to be built, and we've offered to build it for $500. And in this example, I'm going to use Hostinger, and I'm going to show you how we make a sample website for our plumber friend. Now let's swing over to Hostinger and check out what they have to offer. In Australia, they currently have a 75% off web builder. The package that I recommend is a business website builder. In here, you can see all the features. The difference between the two is you get the image generator, you get the AI writer, blog generator, you get heat maps, you get the e-commerce features, which is really good if you have a client that's going to be selling products, and there's only $1 difference between the two packages. It's still way cheaper than the majority of products out there. Next, you're going to pick the period of time that the website's going to be hosted for. You get the best deal over 2 years, but choose whichever one suits your client. And just remember, you'll be doing this every time you set up a new website, and you'll be giving them the login details. Once you made the payment, you will then be redirected to Hostinger. Now we can start creating the website. We enter their brand name. So it's High Flow Plumbing. We're picking Business Showcase, and now we're going to describe the website. Now we'll just take a quick look at some plumbing websites to understand what kind of information they capture on their website. So I have the services, the locations, some information about problems that you might encounter. Let's look at this one. Service area, services. It's a similar concept, so let's go with that. So I wrote a quick description about the plumbing service. We're a plumbing business that repairs plumbing issues in local homes. This website should talk about common problems that people have with plumbing and why our plumbing service will solve their problem. Now let's give that a try. It's now generating our website. Let's take a quick look at what hosting has made for us. Got our call button, we've got some services, testimonials. That's interesting, we've got some testimonials from some pipes, common problems. So the concepts are there. It might need a bit more work, but back when I was building these websites, it would have taken me at least an hour to get to this point. Now it's about getting comfortable with the platform and how to edit things. Up in the top left, one of the most important things you do is change the logo. I'll bring up services so it's a bit higher on the page. I just click on the up arrow to move the section up. Looking at our competition, I think it's a good idea to bring up the problems first, so your website is helping customers before you ask them to work with you. So we'll add a section to talk about common problems. When you add a new section, we're going to add an element, and we're going to add some of our common plumbing problems here. I'll just add in the title. What's cool about hosting is you can pick the placement on a grid. So I'll just center it. I'll add another text element for the text. I've just generated a common problem in plumbing that I'm going to add here. Based on the text that I just generated, the common problem is clogged pipes, and we're going to paste the text. I think the G's are a bit weird in this font, so I'm going to pick a different font. I'm always a big fan of Roboto. You can adjust the section height just by dragging, and the website's starting to come together. Hostinger is a great place to start as a beginner. It's also easy to pass on to your clients once you've completed the work. Moving on to step 4, which is an awesome part of this system, is getting paid. Once you finish the website, you're then going to pass over the login details to your client. Some clients might prefer some kind of split, whether you do a 50% deposit and then 50% pay upon completion, or a 70-30. Whatever you arrange, once the site is completed, you're going to hand over the login details to your client. They'll complete the payment if it's not complete already, and that will finalize the transaction. As you get better at this, you'll be able to do it faster and charge more, and feel confident you can deliver the service. I recommend using something like Stripe because it's really easy to set up. They're open to a lot of countries. Their rates are pretty good. good, and you can create simple invoices for your client to pay via credit card. You can also use things like PayPal or your bank account, and there's some cheaper alternatives if you really want to do the extra research. Honestly, don't worry about this step too much. The most important part of this system is focusing on step 1 and 2. Now remember that no matter what you discuss in a meeting, you haven't actually made a sale until the money gets into your account. I've been guilty of this in the past, and some clients are really convincing. They'll tell you that they want your service or they want the website, and when everything's ready to go, you can no longer get a hold of them. They just completely ghost you. It does happen, so just keep that in mind when you're doing business. Now the next step, which is my favorite step, is to build automations. What I mean by this is you can use services like Fiverr or Upwork, and you can hire virtual assistants in places like the Philippines to do the research for you, build you a list. You then plug that into your software to automatically contact all those potential clients. That is the basis of an agency. Your skill of expertise just happens to be site building. Now, a couple general notes that I think are really important to share. Think about business like a pipeline. The more websites that you find, the more people you can contact. The more websites you can build, and the more you can get paid. You can set a goal for revenue and work your way backwards to work out how many actions you need at each step based on your conversion rate to understand how much you're actually going to get paid. Now that's going to make a lot more sense once you start this business. The most important part about this or any other business that I talk about is that you take massive action. These businesses don't build themselves. They need a driver. You are that driver. So make sure you focus on the actions that build the business, not the noise. If you're serious about business, subscribe to my newsletter. My newsletter is dedicated to helping people to build their business. When you subscribe, I'm going to give you 17 bulletproof side hustles that you can start today and build your business. Stay tuned because I'm here to help you, and I'll have another banger next week.